for Jazz with Jackie O every Sunday from 6 to 8 p.m. right here on Hits 92.1 and 91.1 FM.
Giving thanks for life. Philippians 1:21, to live is Christ, to die is gain. Those who are despondent, depressed, frustrated, suicidal out there, those who feel like there is no way out, there's a way out to the word of the Most High Yard. Join me, Brother John, Monday to Friday for the living word that will bring infused life into your soul. There are more psychologists, more psychiatrists, more prisons, yet more problems. Christ is the answer. Join me on Hits FM, 92.1 FM, 91.1 FM from Monday to Friday at 6 to 7 a.m. for the word of life. Yeah, bless.
Are you looking for the best experienced and qualified staff in early childhood development? New Discoveries Early Childhood Development Center in Sanssouci, opposite the Solid Waste Management, is your final stop. We cater for children 5 weeks to 5 years, and we offer French, Spanish, information technology, life skills, problem solving, football, and field trips. We also provide after-school programs and daily drop-ins. We're open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily with affordable prices. Call 722-4750 or 460-2340 for more information. New Discoveries Early Childhood Development Center, where all promises becomes a possibility. With our motto, taking small steps towards big futures.
Are you looking to grow your business? Hits 92.1 and 91.1 is in a class of its own when it comes to superior advertising. We target everyone between 18 and 80 years of age. You and your business are certain to get a significant amount of exposure, which will equate to an extreme increase in sales. Our packages, rates, and sponsorship opportunities are very affordable, so we guarantee that your advertisements will be heard by its intended target market. We even customize packages just for you. Our premier sales staff has several years experience in radio advertising, so you can rest assured and be confident in the capabilities of our team. We pledge first-class service with an even better result. Experience, satisfaction, and competence are guaranteed when you do business with us. Give us a call at 758-457-7488 or email us at caribbeanhitsfm@gmail.com. Make Hits FM your choice today.
C'est mon nom, c'est Dr. Sigwe et puis
Lady Diane, notre station.
Nous avons invité au quitter
Kite Pep La Pale, lundi pour vendredi,
7h
pour 8h.
Nous avons opéré sur deux fréquences, 92.1 dans notre pays et 91.1 en sous pays. Bon, Mademoiselle, qui ça nous a quitté Pep La Pale?
Nous avons quitté Pep La Pale.
Asso
Hits FM et GVD TV.
Channel
115 115 Kite Pep La Pale.
And of course, I want to say good morning to the folks at home watching channel 115. Welcome to Hits 92.1, 91.1. I go by the name of Asylum. Of course, that's the lovely Flawless in front of me there. Good morning to you, Flawless.
Good morning.
You look so, you look so, bland. Like,
no makeup.
No makeup.
I'm giving my skin a break.
You giving a break?
Yeah, I don't want to get any. I don't want to get any breakouts or anything. I already got like one.
So you do that every ever so often. You just kind of ease off the makeup and go natural.
Yeah, go natural and just treat my face with a lot of natural oils and.
So this is like the build back after the damage.
Yep, basically.
Why makeup though? I mean, why do women feel the need to always?
Remember, I was never into it.
Yeah.
After I spoke to Miss Plus Size, remember?
Yeah. When she was here on the interview,
she introduced me to it, and just because of my career, not just hair, but I'm a musician as well. I'm a singer as well, so I think it's important. Image is everything in the music industry.
Right.
So I started doing it, trying to get better at it. So when I'm ready for it, I'll be able to apply it myself.
When you become a big star, you
look like
a star.
I don't have to pay any makeup artist.
You want to walk the walk and talk the talk.
That is it.
Good morning, GBD TV. Good morning, St. Lucia. Good morning, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. And of course, it is man versus woman.
Woman versus man.
No.
Tell them that's not.
Man versus woman. I mean, while I would admit that there are some things that, men can't do. I do believe that, and this is no competition, by the way. We have our place, and our place is a lot heavier than our load is a lot heavier than the female gender.
Huh?
Yeah. I think I don't know in terms of physically. You guys are emotional wrecks, so we have to have somebody strong. So we're the strength.
Yeah, it said
that's why a guy always we're referred to as a shoulder to lean on.
Yeah,
to cry on.
Some girls can be referred to as that as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some small number.
Very small number.
All right.
But we do exist.
Yes, you do.
Just making that clear.
Are you one of those?
I'm definitely one of those.
All right. Shoulder to cry on.
I've been told that I am I'm cold.
All right, you're cold.
I'm not human because I don't have emotions.
But that's the downside for a woman being.
I think emotions, like, that's our big downfall as women. We let that get the best of us. We let especially when people come at us, we let them trigger emotions in us, and boom, like it's like they have us
break
in
the meltdown, and then we see the.
I'm not about that life.
No, you're not about that. So if I was to like step on you real hard, you won't get emotional and go cry.
No, I won't. I'd probably give you a hard punch, but no, I wouldn't.
Imagine
yesterday.
You get physical.
Yes, probably. Yesterday, I'm in town, right? I'm talking to my person. Right. We were about to go have some lunch.
Your person or person of interest?
My person, right?
That's a new term for the police now when they arrest you, eh?
So I'm speaking to my person. We were on the sidewalk, but we were at the side of the sidewalk. We weren't in the middle. So this guy is passing, right? There's so much space behind me. He decided to cross in front of me, and my arm was stretched out. He just pushed my arm.
Right.
So my person is like, since when you saw? Why you say nothing? I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let that bother me. I don't give people my energy. I don't allow people to trigger anything. I don't give anybody that power over me. I wouldn't do that. So
not doing that anymore.
No, anymore.
Because you.
Let me tell you, I was the weakest person before.
A while ago, he would have gotten a little pushback,
Hey, let me tell you, something probably crazy would have happened in town yesterday, but I'm just not about that life anymore. I don't feel like I should waste my energy and my emotions on people. I don't give it away so freely. Right. I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I am, I have done a lot of growing in the last little while. I've learned to not let things trigger me. Like, when things happen, sit back and analyze before I, destroy. I wasn't always like that. The old me would have been quick to respond.
Right.
Now I'll walk away if I have to and just, kind of think about it, look outside the big picture. And then if I feel the need to address it, I'll do it.
I think that's a better thing to do. And even remember I told you that let's say for instance I'm in an argument with my person and I feel like something isn't worth discussing because it brings out the emotional side of me.
Right.
Not only that, but it kind of strains on the relationship. I will not address something I feel that's not worth addressing, or you understand.
Right.
To me, if it's not a big deal, if it's not life threatening, if I didn't cheat or you didn't cheat or whatever, I'm not going to address any situation to cause we're definitely not going to agree on it. So what's the point of discussing it? Let's just agree to disagree and finish with that.
Right.
A lot of people don't do that, yo. It's like you said, remember?
Right,
if something is bothering you, you have to address it. You have to deal with it. Sometimes the best way to deal with it is to leave it alone. You know that, right?
I kind of agree with you.
I tell them not kinda. You agree with me.
Because I'm the type of person who let's especially when it comes to matters that are close to you, right? I can't sleep unless I deal with it. Right. Honestly, I'll be up all night, and eventually at 2 o'clock in the morning, you'll get a nudge. Hey, we got to talk.
That's the thing,
I
because
cannot
your
let things
emotions,
go.
your
No,
emotions.
I am different. I cannot let things go.
I can.
We have to deal with
Immediate
it.
now.
No. There's no, because to me, if you say, you know what, forget it, let me just don't worry about that, it's telling me that you don't want to address the issue. It's
Exactly.
telling me that you
don't want
but
to.
you have to.
Why?
There's some things that you have to deal with.
There are some things I agree
because
with.
when you walk away from it, you leave that door open for it to come back at you.
Not necessarily.
Yes.
No. Let me tell you, there are things I agree with. We have to address. Yes, that's there's no way we can just leave it alone. But there are things I feel like it's not even worth addressing.
No, but you see, that is wrong, because what might not be as important to you might be important to the next person.
Why though?
Because that's just who we are.
Because people are too emotional.
Because we're different, and something that I might say, you know what, don't worry about that. You might find it that you might find that it's something
because
that
you feeling.
No.
Feeling.
I can't agree. We're different people. We're different people. We're different people. And like rightfully said, if you walk into a room and there's 10 people in the room, right? And you make a statement or you make a comment, each individual can interpret that differently.
Right.
Each individual can feel more attached to that saying than the other.
But what's important is what you meant for it to be.
No, it's how it falls on people's ears, and
No.
that's why that's
But
why
that's the thing.
No. I believe what is more important is how it falls on people's ears, and that's why sometimes you have to retract, recant, and say, you know what, okay, this is what I actually meant
Exactly,
by that.
and I
That's
get that.
because you dropped it, and
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that now. That's what I'm saying. I would say that one thing, that there are people asylum, even after you tell them that, well, that's still not how I took it. I felt so bad. And they will go on, and I'm like, yo, can you please stop?
Yeah.
Can we not do that?
That doesn't mean because you want to stop that they're clear on what was said or done. And that's what I think is important.
Let me tell you what's important to me. If it's not life threatening, if it doesn't,
that doesn't always work that way.
If it's not life threatening to me, if it's not life threatening, if it's not going to affect our relationship, if it's just a petty thing that because you felt some type of way, I'm not going to address it. I'm not going to stress myself. I'm not going to stress myself.
No, because.
And people always, and I tell you, people calling me heartless.
Carry their heart on their sleeves.
I don't do that.
And there's a lot more people doing that than you know.
My heart
and
is
the thing about that,
inside of me.
The thing about that is almost any and everything affects them.
Right.
So that's why you have to always remember what is good for you might not be good for the other person.
That's why I like people that are on the same frequency as I am.
How often do you meet those people?
Not that often.
Exactly.
But I do. Let me tell you.
That just goes to tell you how different we are as human beings.
Let me tell you, lately, those people have. I've met two people.
They gravitate towards you.
I met two people that way.
Then you'll find your way. You'll find yourself. You'll find people who think who you feel think the way you do, or act the way you do. Right? You would find those people. But on the most part, almost everything you say to everyone else will come across the wrong way. And as a person who is looking to live a full life and not have enemies and not be one to have people always upset or always take people's feeling into consideration and that kind of thing, you ought to be careful how and what you say.
Right.
And I think that's something that I'm going to put out there for everyone.
I get that, and that is very important to me. I believe in just when you speak things, of course it becomes how do you say that, when you speak things, they become alive, basically.
Right. Exactly.
You understand? So I'm super careful with what I say to people, super careful with what I do these days, how I react. Like I tell you, I don't just give away my energy to anybody. My energy is very important. I don't.
Yeah, I check that.
Let me tell you, I don't like. I want anyone disrupting my aura or anything like that. I like to feel a positive vibe everywhere I go.
I don't destroy the microphone.
So because the microphone trying to mess around.
The number here is 721-3303. Of course, it's on your screens.
All right.
Or 458-2488. Got us good morning to the folks that are tuned in via Facebook, via channel 115, Hits FM 92.1, 91.1. The folks that are tuned in via TuneIn app.
Right.
The folks on the international side, the regional side. It's man versus woman, and this is what this program is about. Is for us to get to understand each other, and from time to time, some of our viewers and listeners will send us a situation that they're dealing with, asking, for our help. And when I say our, me and Flawless and you, on their situation. So that's just the nature of the program, man versus woman. The number is 458-2488 or via WhatsApp 721-3303 should you feel the need to join in and make a contribution. But we do have a situation this morning. Right. You want to get right into it?
Sure. Just let me update my status, let people know we're on right now.
On right now, or you're updating your status?
I'm updating my status, guys. We're also on GVD TV channel 115, so you can tune into that as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Good morning to the guys over at GVD. Javid, good morning to you. How you doing, my brother? Javid is the master control there. He's the one who's controlling the program right now. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So you ready for me?
1 second.
Just 1 second. All right. It's just about 13 minutes after the hour. And of course, it's man versus woman right here on Hits FM 92.1, 91.1 in the south of the island, or GVD TV channel 115.
Right. Okay.
So you ready?
So wait, I just want to say happy birthday to Junior.
Junior, happy birthday to you, Junior.
GVD TV right now.
Happy birthday, Junior. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Junior. All right.
Yeah.
So it says, good morning, Asylum and Flawless. You ready to go? Go ahead.
I'm definitely ready to go.
All right.
It says good morning, Flawless and Asylum.
All right. You can change that. Y'all know how it is. It's Asylum and Flawless. I have the proof in my hand.
Whatever.
All right.
Okay, it says Asylum and Flawless, good morning. I think my husband raped me.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
Go ahead. Yes.
I think my husband raped me. My husband is 26 and I'm 24. We have been married for almost 2 years now. We have a baby. Today's my first day back from maternity leave, and my husband is not happy about it. He wants me to be a housewife, but I told him no. I feel sad about leaving my baby, but I love my job. I feel like I would lose myself being home all day. I was getting ready one morning and my husband came in to watch me for a while. I felt like he was glaring at me, so I asked him if he has something to say. He told me to take my dress off. I told him no. I had to leave and he told me again to take it off. I said no, and then all of a sudden he grabbed me by my arm and pushed me onto the bed, and he started to push up my dress, and I tried to push his hands away, but he caught my wrist and said, "Relax, don't make me hurt you." And I just let him have what he wanted. I felt kind of scared. I started to cry a little and he just covered my mouth. Then he got up and said, "Have fun at work." I called in sick because I felt so terrible. I don't think he raped me. I don't want to use that word, but he made me feel so horrible. My husband has changed ever since I got pregnant, and he is a lot less calm. I don't understand. I wish I could be a stay-at-home mom and make him happy, but I feel like I would be miserable. I'm just very confused and very hurt. I need your help. Yes.
Wow. Well, first of all, I want to say good morning to this person, and I do hope that you are close to radio or television to listen to some of the comments that are going to be made here today towards your situation.
All right.
But let me get one thing clear. You're not going to get... I give you the harsh reality of things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way I am. I like to just be very straightforward and tell people how it is.
Right.
I also like to play devil's advocate.
Right.
Right. Now let me start by saying that if at this point you're still thinking, because she starts off by saying, "I think my husband raped me."
Right.
Now, rape in most industrialized country can occur within a marriage. And I'm not 100% certain for St. Lucia if that is the case. But our mentality here in St. Lucia is that if you're married, whenever the husband says he wants it, he is supposed to get it. That's our mentality.
Right.
There's a lot of countries that would jail you if your wife can prove that you took sex, because if she says no, and you proceed, that's
real.
and that has the same penalties as if a stranger met you in a shortcut and raped you.
Right.
So there's no within the marriage umbrella to save you.
Right.
So let me just put that out there. But we in the Caribbean have the tendency to believe that when it comes to sex, that a husband and wife, once you're legally married, that it is something that should be thrown up on the table whenever the husband especially demands it, which is not right. To me, it's not. I strongly believe that we all should have our personal space, and within that personal space, we have the rights to choose.
Right. Right.
Not because your husband's labor that I have to vote labor.
True.
And these are some of the things that we need to get rid of. This is sort of a morbid drinking mentality. And when I say that, I mean old school mentality. We're moving into the modern era. We're in the modern era, not moving in. We're there already.
Exactly.
And I believe that, when two people come together in union, in a marriage, they have to have boundaries also.
Yes,
they have to have
privacy
and respect. To me, that's not being respectful. You're not respecting your wife by and the fact that she talks about how she felt after that, it really means that was so wicked in her mind, that it kind of soured her taste for even going to work the day.
Right, she called in sick. She felt
cried.
horrible.
When a woman cries because a man violates it, to me that's a violation.
It's not
a violation of. It's not a good feeling. So we ought to stop thinking that because we're married, that means that I'm entitled or I own you.
Right.
We're partners. We're supposed to be partners. I had the opportunity to sit in on an anger management course when I was younger because of my attitude. And one of the things that they taught you is that when you're in a relationship, whether it's a marriage or a relationship, that person is not yours.
Right.
They're your partner.
Right.
And a partnership, if it's an equal partnership, it means that half of it is yours, half of the burden is yours, half of the good time is yours, half of the bad time is yours, half of the money is yours. So that's a partnership.
Definitely.
So in sex, if one partner doesn't want to have sex, then you find a time. It's okay, well, babes, all right, I know you're not in the mood now, but maybe later we could try, like try something like that.
If she's not in the mood,
don't
force her to.
I would assume she said she was already dressed for work, her first day back to work.
Right. Probably really excited.
She had butterflies going back to work after how many months of being off.
And you just kill all the butterflies.
The fact that she's leaving this baby for the first time, really.
Right.
All kinds of things are going through this lady's head.
And I mean, wow, to think that the person who's supposed to protect you, right, is the one violating you.
The phone line's open: 458-2488, 721-3301. That's via WhatsApp. So 721-3301 WhatsApp. You can make calls or you can send us a message. I'm anxious to hear from people like Tamara about this situation here this morning. Tamara, if you're there, this one says, "Good morning, guys. What's this?" Okay, so let's just read the scenario again. Someone asked, "What's the scenario?"
Oh, okay.
Let's read it again.
So it says, sorry.
Go ahead.
It says, "Asylum and Flawless, good morning. I think my husband raped me. My husband is 26 and I'm 24. We've been married for almost 2 years now. We have a baby. Today's my first day back from maternity leave, and my husband is not happy about it. He wants me to be a housewife, but I told him no. I feel sad about leaving my baby, but I love my job. I feel like I would lose myself being home all day. I was getting ready one morning and my husband came in to watch me for a while. I felt like he was glaring at me, so I asked him if he had something to see. He told me to take my dress off. I told him no, I had to leave, and he told me again to take it off. I said no, and then all of a sudden he grabbed me by my arm and pushed me onto the bed. He started to push up my dress, and I tried to push his hands away, but he caught my wrist and said, "Relax, don't make me hurt you." And I just let him have what he wanted. I felt kind of scared. I started to cry a little, and he just covered my mouth. And then he got up and said, "Have fun at work." I called in sick because I felt so terrible. I don't think he raped me. I don't want to use that word, but he made me feel so horrible. My husband has changed ever since I got pregnant, and he's a lot less calm. I just don't understand. I wish I could be a stay-at-home mom and make him happy, but I feel like I would be miserable. I'm just very confused and hurt. And very hurt. I need your help.
And that's the situation there today. My thing is again, she's still in denial and to the fact that, I mean, rape is rape, no matter how you look at it, right? You said no and he took it. That's to the point where you cried while which intercourse within a marriage is supposed to be something very exciting, supposed to be something that both parties look forward to.
Right.
And when you have one person feeling, as she said, she described her feelings. Right. It just shows that definitely there was some sort of violation there.
Yeah. And I mean, if I was in her place as a woman, I don't know how I would feel. I mean, yes, you're my husband, but I'm telling you that I don't want to. And just the fact that you're forcing yourself on me, that would be a major turn off for me. I probably wouldn't even stay with you after.
You leave just for that.
Yeah, because
would you outright leave, or would you discuss it? Try to discuss it.
I would try to
how
discuss it, but
situation.
she also said that he's become less calm since she got pregnant. That means there's a change in behavior.
Let me tell you, honestly, a lot of men, after they've been in a relationship, just them and their partner for a while, when a baby comes along, they're excited. And there's a lot of fear too, because now the attention that they used to get, there's some jealousy there, and they might not admit it.
Right.
Same goes for when you have an older child and you have a new baby.
Right.
They act up because all the attention that's going to be focused now on the new baby that they used to get, they're not getting anymore.
Right.
So it does happen. It does happen where men feel a little jealous.
Right.
We might not show it, but we do. I think the big story here too is maybe he was also trying to disrupt her feeling of wanting to go back to work.
That could be the case too, yeah.
But let me just tell you, my brother, there's a lot of men out there who would love to have a woman who works.
Even after just having a baby and she wants to.
There's a lot of men out there who would love to have a woman who actually wants to get up and go to work. My brother, embrace it. Embrace it.
You have a woman in your hands,
and you have a new baby. Your expenses is about to change.
Exactly. There is school. There's all of that, and those things haven't even started yet. I'm sure just the Pampers is already a strain. Like, come on.
And
if the lady wants to work, if the girl wants to work, allow her.
Right. We have our first call coming in here. Let's take that call. Good morning, Hits FM, you live.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Flawless.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing? Are you there?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead, caller. We can hear you.
Good morning.
Yes, I'm there. Morning, Flawless. Morning, Asylum.
Good morning.
I don't hear nothing.
You're not hearing anything? Hello?
Can you hear us now?
Can you hear us?
Hello. Yes, we can hear her, but apparently she's.
We could have heard you, but I don't know.
Right, so maybe she'll call back.
Call back.
There she is. She's calling back now. Calling back now. Let's just see if she can get us this time. Can you hear us now?
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
All right. We were saying good morning to you.
Good morning.
Hello?
Yes, we're here.
Hi, can you hear us?
Okay, all right. Yes, I can hear you now.
Go ahead.
First of all, the husband and the wife has no good communication. Right? Because they should have discussed that before she decided to go to work. Now the wife. But the wife is telling the husband that, she wants to go back to work and she doesn't want to be a housewife. And I think the husband should have. Right? So, and then then he wants sex, and then she understand that she had to go and it was late in the time and stuff. So he decided to rape her and use threatening words. Like, don't talk, and covering her mouth and holding her by her arm
and all hurt you.
Right? To the in herself. She's blaming herself, saying like it's her fault. She really wanted she wants to be a housewife, and she's now blaming herself for the situation. She's not blaming the man. The man, she blaming herself for everything. She's lost. Every time I get a situation, the wife is always lost because the husband is. So the couple lack communication. They should learn to communicate more effectively.
Right.
And yes, that's my contribution.
That's good.
Yes.
Do you think that in fact it is rape that he did rape her? Would you say that he raped her?
Yes, he did rape her. Once you say no is no. Once you say it doesn't matter if it's in a relationship.
In our culture, that happens so often, and it's swept under the rug because guess what? You're married. That's your husband. Not there. You're not supposed to give it to him when he wanted.
Yeah.
Is that right?
People, we laugh at them because we say your husband and you're saying he raped you, and
in some cases,
like your
even when the women have enough courage to go to the police, right? To tell them about it, it is still, even the police in some cases will laugh at and send you home.
Yeah, they laugh because your husband not there, and the only way they will really take it serious is if abuse is in. They see you have a black eye, or they see something.
Hello, Tamara.
I'm there.
Well, yeah.
I
take it.
Are you still? She's still there, but I don't know. Maybe she's.
I think the phone kind of cutting off.
All right, so we got some.
I'm listening.
You're listening. Okay, so we got some messages. This one says here. Hold on for a second. Let me pull it up. This one says her husband still raped her, but if I was her, if I was in her shoes, I would go to the police and make a report on him.
Wow.
And this is coming from a female. Natasha, thank you very much for that contribution.
Why not? Because she said no, I don't want to. He even went as far as saying, "Stay there, or I will
cover them out.
hurt you."
And that's what worries me. That sounds a little too violent for me. For that doesn't sound like a husband who's supposed to be loving his wife.
He cover her mouth.
Yeah, all of that. That to me.
Like it's some kind of gangster thing.
Right.
That's your wife.
Right.
I'm even asking the question if they're actually in their own home. Because if you're in your own home, I mean, and you're having relations, that you shouldn't have to cover anybody's mouth, anyways. Maybe she was at the point of screaming.
Right.
And what would a neighbor do if they heard their wife screaming, and rushed over and realized that the husband was raping the wife? What kind of neighbor do?
Right.
Because that's ultimately why you would scream, so that somebody would hear you.
Well, the neighbors they will come out and look for sure, but they will not involve themselves.
They would not involve themselves.
The neighbors will come out and they will not. If it's a constant thing, if it's a constant thing, it will happen. Somebody will take action. And
right.
But
this,
somebody.
This message says, I would report her husband. He's obsessed with her and wants her to stay at home. You think that's obsession? I mean,
I wouldn't say obsession.
Do you think that he doesn't
I would
want
say
to
controlling.
Controlling, yeah.
That's what I would say. I don't think obsession is. I want you to be happy, so I'll. To me, when you're obsessed with somebody, as much as you want them around, often you also want to see them happy and stuff. You get me? But controlling is when you're like, "Hey, I don't want you to go to work. You better stay home." And okay, I say I'm not going to give you sex, and it's like you're forcing yourself on me. Do you own me? I mean, I know we're married. Doesn't mean that you own me. You get me?
Right.
So I just feel like that's major disrespectful. I would never
I have a very interesting message here. It says if he wants her to stay at home, maybe he should open a business at home for her. Right? This is ridiculous. Sweetie, your husband didn't rape you. Okay? And this is coming from a woman. This is coming from a woman. I found it very interesting because it's coming from a woman. She says your husband didn't rape you. So again, this is one of the people who obviously believe that once you're in a marriage, that sex should always be forthcoming.
Even if I don't want it, nah, I totally disagree with that. That's rape. If I'm telling you that I do not want something.
But there's some law officers who would tell you, my lady, go at your home, go meet your husband.
Nah, I doubt that.
I mean, does that still happen? I know it happened in the past. It used to happen in the past. Does it still happen in this day and age?
I doubt that, yo. That's no, man.
Especially in the rural communities where everybody's close knit and families, everybody know each other.
Right.
You know that's something that's been very prevalent in those in those areas, in those time gone by. Are they still happening today? I mean, I would like to know. All right.
I feel like if somebody doesn't want something, tell them. There's no way you can force it on them. That's wrong. Especially something like sex.
Like sex, right.
It's like you're forcing yourself on this person. That who knows what she was thinking at the time? Like, you're supposed to be my husband. Why are you doing this to me? Or I really didn't want to. Like you forcing. Oi, no. I can't deal with. And the person who said that is not a rape. You need to think about that.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, that's the difference in opinion. Throughout the island, there's some people who feel like that's totally okay. I think the person
that said that is just a freak.
Some people would just say, why? Is she husband? Why she didn't just give it to him?
The person that said
and
that.
Some people might even say, oh, so when she don't give it to him and he goes out and look for it, she's gonna cry wolf again.
If she doesn't want it, like, come on. The person who said that, you just like those kind of.
That sounds like you.
No.
Anyways, I believe too that there's a lack of respect in the relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
A lack of respect in the relationship.
I feel like she doesn't have a voice. I feel like the man just wants to control her because men dominance, right?
You think so, eh?
Yeah. So I feel like the man is just trying to control her. He doesn't want her to be happy. I mean, as much as when you're in a marriage, it's no longer about you; it's about us. But at the same time, my world doesn't revolve around you when I'm in that marriage. That's just to me, that's how I see it. Because if you decide to leave me tomorrow,
right,
I have to be able to say, well, at least.
But let us take a step back to yesterday when we talked about the scenario we had yesterday where the husband was cheating and it was well known, it's open.
Right.
And the wife said, you know what, look, I'm going to leave everything to God. So she's not going to go argue. She's not going to fight. She's just going to leave it at the foot of the cross, as she put it. Now, maybe this is a situation where the girlfriend is allowing him to do what he wants because she figures, well, that's what it really takes to him to for him to have a relationship or a good relationship.
I get you.
But this one instance, and to me, it doesn't sound like it's something that is the first time. Like she said, she has noticed he has changed. His pattern has changed. So they might have had arguments. Whereas before the baby, they didn't have those type of arguments. Now they're arguing about these things.
Right.
He's becoming more controlling, and I totally believe this is more of a controlling situation where he wants to just be able to tell her what to do, how to do, and when to do.
Exactly.
And she is wondering how is the best way forward. Now he's gone to the point where he raped her. Well, in my eyes, she still thinks that she doesn't want to label it as rape. And I wonder why. I wonder why.
Probably because, probably because she's married. So I mean, how can your husband rape you, right?
But
I mean,
how can you?
A lot of people would think that's a joke. How can your husband rape you? I mean, he's always there.
But a lot of people say that all the time.
It's legalized now. It's like this is his. This belongs to him, right?
But is that what it is?
No. It's still mine. You're married to me. You're not married to that. Get me? So if I don't want to give it to you, I'm not going to give you anything. That's just what it is.
But it also goes back now to the whole situation where we're not always in the mood for whatever. You cook rice and peas tonight, I might not even be in the mood to eat rice and peas. You know, and I think instead of getting upset or doing things to hurt each other, we ought to discuss these things. You know, sometimes, okay, babes, that happened, and you know, I really didn't. I think she needs to let him know how she felt,
right? How
it made her feel,
right?
Who knows? It probably played on her emotions to the point where now she's lowering her esteem, her self-esteem, and these type of things. So I believe that she still needs to address it. If she hasn't, she needs to revisit and tell him, say, look, you know what? When that happened, this is how I felt,
right?
And this is what it made me, how it made me feel,
right?
And see how he would react to it. Maybe then he would realize that he actually did something wrong.
I don't think he would care, yo. I just I
don't totally get that.
Just the fact that he first of all, he's changed. He's less calm.
Right.
She started crying. If he cared, the moment she started crying, he would have stopped. He's telling her, "Stay, or I will hurt you." Do you think that guy would really care about that?
Maybe at the time. Because not every time somebody commits a crime or does something wrong that they're actually thinking. A lot of times it's reaction. And then after it's all said and done, they see how it impacted or it affected people. And then some people are remorseful.
Right.
And some people are not.
I just, no.
So,
doesn't mean
because the gruesomeness of a crime doesn't depict how the person end up being in terms of being remorseful later on. The thing is, when things are happening, sometimes it happens so fast.
Right. I just feel
that people are not even processing thought with it. I'm not condoning what he did. I believe what he did is wrong.
Yeah.
I believe that if he has a wife that wants to go back to work after having a baby, I believe he needs to embrace that, because at the end of the day, things and times are tough.
Right.
We live in a hard guava season, as we say here in St. Lucia, and every nickel,
just
every
the fact that
dollar
your wife
matters.
wants to even go to work right after giving birth. Come on, yo. You should be like, wow, you want to go back to work? I support you 100%. Not make her feel bad about that. Tell her you'd rather stay at home and try and break her spirit this the morning she has to go back to work. And I don't feel he feels remorse about he would ever feel remorse about that. Like I said, just the fact that she started crying and he did.
It should have been enough to stop him.
Yeah, your wife is crying, meaning she's hurt. You're hurting her. You're doing something that it's not pleasing to her.
People will do the dumbest things, and then later on, when they have a chance to think about it or they see how it affects people, then their whole thing change. This one says, "I'm so getting ready for work, blocking my mouth, pulling my dress up. I said no, so I have no say, and people think you didn't rape me. He didn't respect the fact I said no."
Exactly. So if you can do that to me, who knows what else you can do? You get me? What if I need something like, just the fact that he can do that, yo, it's crazy that he would even feel that's okay, and then after say have fun at work.
I think it's been sarcastic.
That's exactly what it was.
You
get me?
I do believe from that alone, I kind of find that he is trying to force her not to go to work. As she said, he wants her to stay at home.
Right.
I do believe that he did violate her.
Right.
I do believe that he does owe her an apology.
Yep.
If this has to move forward.
Yep.
And he does need to check himself.
Yep.
I think if he, as she said, he's changed in the sense that he's not as calm as he used to be, so he needs to check himself. Right? He needs to check himself as a person. What he's becoming is not what his wife fell in love with in the first place. So he needs to check himself if he wants to save this marriage. And as for her, my advice really would be to really, really assess what it means to you. If your husband hurts you that much, I'm not going to tell you to run to divorce court or run to the police, but think about how it's going to affect your marriage moving forward.
Right.
Would it be best to have a conversation with him, knowing the type of person he is, and try to come to an amicable solution where this whole thing is concerned, especially where you're working, going back to work, because he obviously doesn't want you to. If you don't want me to go back to work, then what? I don't want to stay around the house, so let's come up with something that's that's of mutual agreement that I can do. Like someone said earlier, maybe start a business at home. Who knows? There's all kinds of stuff that they can venture into. This one says the man probably thought, oh, so you're bad, you getting after I say, so you're bad, you going after I say not to. Well, let me make you say let me try a thing. Let me let you stay. So basically, I think what I'm getting from this is the man is, he tried that to see.
Right. I told you don't go. You say you're still going, so let me try a thing.
I do not believe that was the approach, though. No. I don't think that if your husband, your wife wanted to go back to work after having a baby and you didn't want her to, that was the right thing to do.
Right.
To me, that's sending the wrong message.
Let me tell you what I feel like.
And it opened a whole different kind of worms.
Rape is something that is very serious. Rape, I don't care who you are, what your relation is to the person, that is a no-no. You get me? Just the fact that person feels weak, that person can do anything for themselves when they're under you. That can affect that person emotionally, physically, mentally, in so many ways that they will carry on and on to the future. You get me? In the future, you don't do that to people. Rape is something that's a big thing for me. That's a no-no. I don't care what your relationship is with the person. If the person says no, then no means no. I don't care if you're my husband, if you're my sugar daddy, whatever the case may be. When I say no, it means no. Secondly, you just did that to her, right? And you're making her feel worse, telling her to have fun at work. You know very well what you just did to her. She cried. She asked you to get off. You put your hand over her mouth. And then you ask her to stay there, or you would hurt her. Your wife, the mother of a child she just had for you. You get me? You don't do that to somebody. You don't do that. That alone makes me feel like you're controlling. You're trying to control this person's life. And if you can do that to her, who knows what you can do to her? You get me? You get me? So no, I don't. I don't care what your relationship is with me. Rape is rape. If I tell you no, no means no. If you proceed to get on to me and do whatever, then that's rape. And I would definitely report you and try to get. Let me tell you.
Again, society has a double standards when it comes to raping relationships. And let me put it that way: raping relationships. Where had it been the man, and he said no, and the wife will laugh at him. That came to light. We'll say, oh, meet a mashi, or meet this or meet that. We'll have all kinds of things to say. And that's the thing about how society look at these things. Right? When it comes to women, if a woman has multiple partners, she's this, she's that. A man has multiple partners. He's a boss. He's a shatta. He's all these glorious names that we call him. But to me, it's all the same. This one says he wanted to get under her skin. He's a wicked man. That's the thing he is controlling. He's been a very controlling man. Again, not everyone has the gift of gab. Be able to resolve situation via conversation.
Right.
And I believe that this is something that might be lacking in that relationship. I think that both husband and wife need to find ways in which they can communicate a lot better.
Yeah.
And I think something as serious as her wanting to go back to work, he wanting her to stay at home, something that they should have both sat down and discussed.
Yep.
And I believe that was not done, and that's why we're at the point now where she's actually getting dressed to go to work. And he's still trying to stop her.
Right. Somebody said that is very, very bad of him. And I totally agree.
I mean, frankly speaking, if that was my sister,
Hey.
And she bring that story to me, mate and I would be having a very serious talk.
I'm telling you.
This one says, mate not only fully grown, he's still a little boy. Mate is not fully grown, he's still a little boy. Being married doesn't make him a man, first of all, and he did rape her. If her first day back to work and you did that to her, it seems he wants her to lose her job. It's not like she's left the house forever. He should have been a little more considerate instead of humiliating her. And to make it worse, you even told her, don't let you hurt her.
Right.
I wonder, what does that mean? He being controlling, or is he just obsessed with her?
I think
very,
controlling.
very, very, very good point there.
Controlling. Definitely controlling.
I do lean. I'm going to lean towards the word controlling. I think he's trying to control her. What again? And he, you know, what happens if she muster up enough courage to go to work that day? She probably would have been so disoriented, thinking about the way, you know, her morning went, and not even able to perform her duties at work. Emotionally, she would have been a wreck.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing. Sometimes us men too, and this is man versus woman. And the thing is, my job here is really to give us talks when we need to take it.
Yeah.
You know, you have sent the person that you were married to, your wife, your other half.
You're supposed to love and protect.
Into the world. You know, feeling, having a feeling of being disrespected in the worst manner. You know, her self-esteem probably brought down to the lowest because of that, for that day at least. And you send her into the world. That's where some guys just take advantage, you know. There are guys who would realize that she's going through a tough time, or have had something happen to her, and move in with their smooth talk. Before you know it, you're losing into my brother. So what you did there isn't something that you know, would benefit you.
Exactly.
If it's sex you want, you still could have waited until later in the evening. After she come home excited about the way her day went at work. Oh, boy, it feels so good to be back to work. And I was kind of nervous because I don't know if being away from work for so long, I might have missed, you know, the way things run. And I just went back in there and snapped right back into gear and everything. She come home all excited. Before you know it, you probably could have had the best sex of your life that night alone.
Exactly.
So I don't even believe that this was a matter of sex.
No, it wasn't just that. It was that he wanted to control her, and he didn't want her to go back to work because he, like she said, he's been saying that, hey, I want you to be a housewife. I mean, we're going to be, 2020 is up in a few months. It's coming in a few months. You understand? We're no longer in the Stone Age. Women work now. Okay, we have careers. We like working. We're not lazy. We can take care of the home and still hold a career.
Right.
Okay? We're super women now.
Because you know what's involved. This one says, a very interesting comment. It says, if he had done it in a romantic way, you know, because if I'm in a marriage, my husband wanted a quickie before I go to work, that's fine. But you blocking my mouth, that's a no-no. That's a no-no.
You know?
So thank you for that comment there. I believe this wasn't even about sex. I think he just used what he thought would have been like the most degrading thing. Because now she feels that, you know, he raped her. It made her cry. It made her feel worthless, nasty, and you know, because of the way he did it. It's not a matter of sex. If it was just sex, he could have done a little romantic something. And you had all night the night before.
You know?
You had all night. Put the baby to bed. And you had all night the night before. You waited until the woman, or even in the shower. When she got in the shower, to just slip in the shower, and you know, who knows. But you wait until the woman's already dressed.
You know?
Ready to go. Her focus probably is on getting there and getting her day started. And you did what you did. I believe that you only did that out of selfish reasons. I think you just being vindictive. You know, you should have supported her more on her day back to work, and she didn't even go to work today.
Right.
Because of what you did. You think you accomplished what you set out to accomplish, but the downside to that, you now have a woman who doesn't trust you as much anymore. She probably doesn't feel the same way she feels about you anymore because of what you did.
Right.
And that is definitely going to change your relationship. It's going to change your relationship. Right? It's going to change your relationship. So, you know, and I really want to appeal to St. Lucians that feel that because you're married, right, that sex is something that that has to come with that comes with the territory. There are times when even men don't feel like having sex. What if your wife decided to just hop on you and just do it?
Right.
You know, we take it differently, and men would see sex different than the way women see sex.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
This one says husband or not, they are not allowed to rape anyone without our conversation. Anyone without our conversation, we women. Okay, so I'm not sure, but I mean, I get the first part. Husband or not, you're not allowed to rape. All right. And thank you very much for that comment. I do believe that as to how it's dealt with, I really don't know how to even offer advice on what she should do. I do believe that they should talk about it. As to whether or not she should go to the authorities, I am not sure whether I should give it, because it depends. Some people have a very strong notion that once you're married, rape doesn't really commit. It's committed within a marriage. A lot of people do. More people than we know.
All right.
But also, you have a husband who, in my mind, violated his wife in that way. He should be dealt with in a certain way. I mean, something should come his way. Whether it's conversation, whether she makes it clear to him that never going to happen again, I believe that they should have that conversation. Maybe might be the way to go. Maybe that might be the way to go, where she decide that, look, you know, I'm going to let you know that if this ever occurs again, I am going to go to the authorities before she actually does, because it's going to open a whole new kind of worm for both you and him. While I know that it should not happen again, so that's why I feel that she needs to have that conversation with him and lay the cards on the table, and maybe just say to him, look, this is your final chance, right? Because I'm not sure that going to the authorities and having arrested is not that it's not the right thing to do, but how is it going to affect the entire relationship?
All right. And then there's a child involved.
And there's a new baby involved. You're just trying to get yourself settled back into work and everything else. It can really disturb a lot of things. So it's really a ticklish situation that she's in. Follow your heart.
All right.
Follow your heart, though.
All right.
I can give you my advice, but at the end of the day, it's really how you feel the entire situation, and look outside of the box. Don't just look at it as what happened. Think outside of the box. Think of what the repercussions would be if you were to take that step. If you decide that that's the way you feel that you need to go, then, my dear, all means, go right ahead.
All right.
But I do believe you ought to think of the big picture. And the one thing that I would ask you, or I would suggest that you do, is make sure you have that conversation with your husband. Okay. Make sure you do. Make sure you let him know that you weren't pleased with the way that went. It did this to you, did that to you. And
he knows that. That's the thing.
Someone says the husband didn't rape his wife. 1 Corinthians 7:4. The wife had not power to her own body, but the husband, and likewise also the husband had not power to his own body, but the wife. I'm not gonna say what I was going to say.
But he said, he raped you, love. Yes, your husband's spouse can rape you. Now you need to address him about it, or leave for your safety and the child's safety.
True. And if this is something that is, like she said, he was not always this way.
Exactly.
His mood, his attitudes are changing. Exactly. I think that's something that needs to be paid close attention to.
Right.
She need to put everything in perspective and then act accordingly. But really, really look at the big picture.
Let me tell you what I would do, Asylum. Sorry, I need to clear my throat. Yes. So, first of all, just the fact that, first of all, he's controlling. We acknowledge that. We agreed that, in our opinions, he's controlling, right? I personally, and I'm not saying that if you're listening right now to the writer, I'm not saying that this is what you should do, but I personally would have gotten out of that situation. I would have gotten out of it because you've changed, right? You knew I wasn't pleased with anything, so I have nothing to discuss to you because I cried. I asked you to stop. You told me you were going to hurt me. I told you.
So that would be enough for you.
That's enough for you to know that I definitely wasn't pleased with nothing with that. So there's nothing to address. I personally would get out of that. If you want, come tell me sorry and you change. If you're willing to change,
but that's what I'm saying. That conversation needs to be had.
I wouldn't have that conversation in that. I would get out of there.
Move out first, and then
move out first.
If he wants back, then because he has to prove.
Let me tell you, a conversation. There's only so much a conversation can do when somebody is already. You get me? If that's the type of person you are, who knows? That he might have been that type of person. It's only now revealing that's who he is. You get me? There's only so much as conversation can do. I would take action. I would get out of that situation. If you want to change, if you're willing to change, if I'm seeing that you're changing,
that's all things
if you
considered.
allow me
That
to
is
go
all
to
things
work.
considered. I mean, if you, that's all things considered. My thing is that if you you're in a new relationship and you're still developing, there are things that you're gonna find out about your partner as you go along that you didn't know, and as they come up, you'll try to find ways to deal with them, right? So maybe this is just one of them. I also would love to advise her that, again, think outside of the box, because at the end of the day, you're newlyweds, right? You just have a new baby, and to walk away from your husband because of something he did that you could have find a way to resolve. Whether it's through counseling, because then there you go. You walk out and you start a new relationship a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year down the road.
I wouldn't go and start. That's not what I would be.
So you would just stay by yourself for the rest of your life?
Not stay by myself for the rest of my life. What I'm saying is, I wouldn't go to counseling for what? He knows exactly what he did.
But I believe that when people do wrong, they should be given an opportunity to right their wrongs.
So I'm not saying that I'm going to go and move on, but I'm definitely going to move out. First of all, you don't want me to work. You don't want me to work. You want to take advantage of my body and tell me and laugh, and not laugh, but to say jokingly, maybe have fun at work. That's just showing me you have no respect for me. You don't see me as a wife. You should be the one. You should be the one to respect and protect me.
I don't care what anyone says. When you're in a relationship with someone, you kind of have it might not be a confirmed idea as to what that person is, but you kind of have an idea in your head what type of person you're getting involved with.
But you don't know the limit they can go to.
Right.
That's the thing.
And that's true. But some people can use well, I didn't think he was like that. Get to know the people that you're getting involved with first.
Let me tell you, you can want to get to know somebody, but if that person doesn't show you who they really are, you'll never get to know that person. But how would you know?
Then stay away.
How would you know?
Well, that's what I'm saying. As you go along, you'll discover things that you didn't know, and then you address them.
Oh God, let me
it's
tell
almost like you're on a boat. When the wind changes direction, then you adjust the sails.
That's what I'm saying. But there are times, Asylum, you'll not be able to tell if this person is showing you who they want you to think they are.
Yeah.
You get me?
Right.
There are people who deceive people, who lie to people about their personality.
True.
So I'm not saying that's how all situations are, but there are situations where you can never tell that this was that, but this is who you are. This is who I'm married. This is my protector. It's the person I thought. You get me? So there are times you can't tell. But if I was in that situation, I would get out of that house. You're not going to tell me that I cannot be a woman. I can't work. You get me? You think it's okay to rape me? As your wife, you're supposed to be protecting me.
Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I don't know if I would take it as far as to just being out of the relationship. I think
I wouldn't be out of the relationship. I would leave. You get me?
Right.
Give you some space to think about what you just did.
Right.
Then you will, if you want to make things work, you'd come to me and say, hey, I'm wrong.
You
I
make
was
good.
wrong.
You make good.
I didn't realize it affected you that way. I'm sure that's what he's going to say after.
Right.
I didn't realize it affected you that way. Had I known, I wouldn't have done that. And moving forward, what can I do to make things better and get me? And from there, we'll move on. But in that moment, I would never stay in that situation.
All right, we're out of time. This is one of those mornings where we have more to say than time permits.
Yes.
So we want to thank you very much for all the comments that we got, and for the folks that are watching via GBD TV channel 115. We would like to get some, some people responding to the scenario from time to time. We're here every day from 11 to 12, Monday to Friday. So join us. This is, we have discussions that affects all of us, as a matter of fact. We want to thank the guys over at GVD for giving us a few extra minutes. And of course, the listeners on Hits FM 92.1, 91.1. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time.
Bye-bye.
Man versus woman.
Woman versus man.
Man versus woman.
Woman versus
Enjoy.
man.
Have yourself a wonderful day. We have a late call. Can we take this call while we go off? Yeah? Let's take this call real quick. Hits FM. Hi there.
Everything blessed?
Yes, Red Man.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm watching you there. You have who impressed up there?
That's flawless.
I just tuned in there. I remember that. But now, guys, so we're not getting 91.1.
We're working on it. This
yes, my sister, and yes, I. Keep your fire burning, man.
Yes. We actually installing some new equipment right now, so that's probably
I'm missing a lot of stuff there.
Yeah.
Imagine Sunday Randy had a good segment in the reggae vibes there.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So everything.
Anyway, blessed day. Macheka say hi.
All right, big up Macheka and Redman. Enough love to you, eh?
Yeah, man. Big up.
All right.
Big up and press.
All right, flawless. He's saying, shutting.
Oh yes. Bye bye.
All right, Redman. Big up. Now, let me tell you, Redman is one of those listeners who, when you see he gets settled in, and he'll be calling very regular. Very righteous, very spiritual man. And I tell you, I love this man like he's a father of mine. Anyways, I want to thank the folks once again for being a part of Man vs. Woman right here in Hits 92.1. Man vs. Woman.
Woman.
Hits 92.1, 91.1. Man versus
Woman versus man.
Man versus woman.
Woman versus man.
Woman
versus man.
We're out of here.
Woman versus man.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, woman
all
versus
right, St. Lucia, have yourself a wonderful one. We're out of here.